Okay, we're going to go on to the next lesson with equations, which is like the next step. And so we did solving one-step equations, and now we're going to go to two-step equations. So it's kind of the same process. We undo subtraction or addition and subtraction with the inverse operation. That meant when we decided that it was multiplying by something, then we divided by that number. And we undo multiplication or division with the inverse operations. We have to isolate the variable. We're trying to get that variable by itself to be like a 1x or a 1 whatever it is. And then now we're going to talk about checking our answer to make sure it makes sense. So we're going to use these models below to solve the equation. So if you look at this, try to think about what you think this model represents. So we have two of these things, and they're both x's. So that would be 2x. And then we have 4 ones, and they're positive, so we're going to add 4. And then we have 3 positives equals 3. And so how we solve a two-step equation, and I'm going to go ahead and draw this line again, is it's 2 steps because we have a plus 4, and then we have a 2 times the x. So it helps some people, and you don't have to do this, to circle the number with the variable, and that will remind you to do that last. And so we got a minus 4 first on each side. And then it's really important, because remember, they're going to get harder than this. So if we minus 4, these cancel out. And then we have 2x left. And then 3 minus 4 is -1. And you can use your calculator if you need to. But if you know how to do that, like especially from the last test, then keep using your brain. And then we have 2x equals -1. And so we want to get the x by itself. So we're going to divide by 2 and divide by 2. And we have x equals negative. You can either just do 1/2 or you could do -0.5. Either one works. You can put it in any form like that. Okay. All right. So I've kind of ran out of room. This next one I'm going to write up above. The model would be 3x. And then we have plus 2 equals, and we have 8 singles. So we would have equals 8. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to minus 2 on each side. And we get 3x. And I'm just going to write it over here now. We get 3x equals 6. And then we have to divide by 3, because the opposite of multiply is to divide. And we get x equals 2. Okay, so again, you can go at your own pace and just pause it and see if you can do them on your own, or you can do them along with me. So number 1, we're going to draw the river, and we're going to keep the 3x. That's going to be the last thing we do. So we're actually going to, what's the opposite of 10? We're going to minus 10. Minus 10. And that leaves us with 3x. We have to drop that down, equals 12. And then we're going to divide by 3 to get rid of that. And we have x equals 4. So to check it, we plug the 4 in where the x is and see if we come up with 22. So if you plug the 4 in, you have 10 minus, whoops, sorry, that was a plus, 10 plus, and then we have 3, and this is right next to it, so we're going to put the 4 there, equals 22. And then you do order of operations, so you have 10 plus 12, and that equals 22. So it's just a good way to know that you did it right. I'm not going to require that of you, but it's a good way that you can go back if you don't think your answer is reasonable. You can always check it. Okay, the next problem. A lot of kids think, well, it's on the wrong side. That does not matter. You do not need to flip them around because people make mistakes when they do that with the signs. So go ahead and do everything the same as we were doing. So if you want to circle the 4p, you can. So the opposite of -5 is +5. +5 here. And we have 24 equals 4p. And then opposite of multiply is to divide. So we're going to divide by 4. And then we're just going to put 24 divided by 4 is 6 on this side. And we're going to put equals p here. Because we can leave it like that. We don't have to flip it around. And it's kind of important that you do leave it like that, and that'll make sense later. So if you want to check it, you're going to put the 6 back in here. So you have 4 times 6 is 24. And then -5 is 19. So it does check out. Okay, number 3. So we have a -8. So we're going to add 8. And so we get 24 equals r divided by 2. And since it's divide, we're going to multiply by 2. So we get 24 times 2, which is 48. And if you want to check it, you can do 48 divided by 2 minus 8. And that should be 16. Okay, so it says solve each equation, roll a pair of dice, find the sum of the two numbers. We're not going to worry about the dice and everything, but I want you to go ahead and do number 2 for me and number 4. So I want you to do number 2 and number 4. And let's see here. I think that's all I need you to do. 2, 4, and yeah. Well, we'll do one with the variable on the other side. Do 2, 4, and 7 for the next time. Or if you're still in class, do it now.